Hello everybody and welcome back once again to Let's Play Stainless Steel, the Portuguese campaign. Alright, before we dive into today's session head first, just a few odds and sods to take you through. Some housekeeping that was done off camera before the start of today's session. So the king, here he is in all his splendour, King Afonso the Merciless, the grand old age of 65, apparently seems to be still going strong. His authority is as high as it has ever been, and he's preparing the kingdom for a potential time of peace. The Moors will soon fall. That is a certainty. So when they do, we're going to take the opportunity to allow the lands to flourish, allow the coffers to overflow, allow the populace to enjoy a period of happiness. So in order to do that, the king has decreed across the land a global lowering of the taxes. So all tax rates have been lowered to promote growth, to allow a period of happiness, and to prepare for that peacetime. We don't need to fund as many armies, as many troops as we did in the past, and therefore we can afford to do this. To assist with the growth, we've got the infrastructure being developed. Farming, markets, road networks, ports and merchant wharfs. All these have been prioritised now as a means of bringing in extra coin into the land without needing to ramp up the taxes. Also, there's been a trimming down of the garrisons in areas that aren't in direct threat to save on upkeep. So as a result of all of that, the income per turn per year, if you will, is looking mightily healthy, at around about 5,000, and building work is continuing across the land, and everything is looking mightily fine and dandy. The people are happy. The king is soon to be happy when the Moors fall. That's all that matters. So that is the situation. Everywhere is building and everywhere is happy. We move very swiftly on then to some ancillary character work. First of all, we knew that Pedro Pascal, an apprentice hired recently fresh from the newly constructed assassin school in Lisbon, was hightailing it after one Matteo Sciacca, a man who had perched up outside Murcia for some time, just waiting for an opportunity to strike. As soon as he got wind of Pedro's arrival, he promptly hightailed it and is now cowering with his army on some ships. How one man can make another man quiver so is quite amazing, is it not? And then we move to perhaps the most esteemed member of our ancillary characters, our supporting role. One Mr. Damio Paver. He's 84. He's been with us since the very start, since the times of King Enriquez. He has been holding diplomatic talks for numbers of years, for decades, and this man, there ain't many better at getting the enemy to bend to your will than this guy. Look at him. Superb diplomat. He's just, I mean, I'm surprised he can still walk, but he's still doing the business, because in the last session you may have remembered that I had told you that the Aragonese relationship had gone from good to amiable. And therefore, if there was one man to assist in raising that reputation, raising that relationship back up to what it perhaps should be, it's Mr. Damio Paver. He was given 1,000 florins and told to ensure that the Aragonese came round to our way of thinking. Gold crossed palms, some smooth lines from Mr. Paver, and the diplomacy with the Aragonese is back up to good again. All is well with the world. In the meantime, his protégé, who's pretty useless, M2TW, he is heading north into France, because France have recently waged war with the Aragonese, and therefore they are also excommunicated. So we just want to kind of check out, really, what's going down. They're also at war with England. So we just kind of check out the situation, see what's going down with France, and report back as quickly as possible. We are recruiting a spy here in Badajoz so we get a bit more of an eyeball on the situation here. And we're going to be recruiting another spy here in Lisbon, putting him on board the recently moved ships that have been sailed round to assist. And then we're going to send our spy up to the lands of England to see exactly what they're up to. Why not? A faction close to my heart. So that is everything off camera, really. We've just some, as I said before, trimming of some of the upkeeps and things, and making sure that we're getting some growth going on. Heading over this side of the map, we have the spy Jose Rapulsa heading across to this settlement here, and this spy heading across to this settlement here. So just having some spies look out nearby at the Sicilian lands, just to see what's going down, what their garrisons are like, how many troops they have in the vicinity, and how likely it is that we would be victorious if we were to start attacking them. We have our Francisco Baptista. He's now finally trading that ivory, although there is a rather
end the hostilities, then we can talk again.
Useful merchant right next door who's probably going to buy him out. But we'll see what happens there. And we finally have Paulo Ribeiro, soon to be trading the gold once again. And there you go. Rather lengthy introduction, but I thought I'd keep you up to speed with the developments of what's going down. Right, the session today, there is only one goal, there is only one task, and as soon as that task is complete, the session will pretty much end. Well, it will end on one of two conditions. The first condition is, of course, the demise of Marrakesh, which should be happening in about 3 to 4 turns' time. Alternatively, if by some stroke of great misfortune our king passes away before that happens, we'll also end the session there. We'll see what occurs first, but I'm sincerely hoping that our king lives to see the end of the Moors, because he has orchestrated their demise to perfection almost. Barring 1 or 2 blips at Fez and Marrakesh, yeah, barring inept commanders aside, he's done his best. He's done his best. He's done as good as he could possibly do. Let's see what goes down. Ooh, we're getting some. We're getting some visions here of happenings further east. I wonder why. I mean, obviously that looks like a... Oh, it's because the Moors are there, I think. Is that a Moorish army? Yeah, it is. Maybe that's why we're seeing this. Because our neighbouring faction has a rather large army on jihad against Constantinople. Which is rather foolish when their own lands are soon to be taken. They should have kept those troops at home. Not that we're complaining, of course. An absolutely perfect distraction. I mean, look at some of those commanders as well. Right, here we go. What's going on now? Is it... who's gonna win? Who's gonna win? Who's gonna win? Oh, look at that. Constantinople are absolutely holding fast. Holding fast. They ain't gonna bow down. Oh no. This is rather a long affair. This is almost like a mini-series in itself. I think we're done now. No, we're not done yet. No. Are we? Hell. Here we go. I think the Moors are going to fall now. Let's watch this with great pleasure. No, oh, not quite in range. Never mind. We got some movement. Here they go. If the Moors take this, this will be rather annoying, because it means that they would not be eradicated when we take Marrakesh. They'll have a land which is far, far away from where we are, so there won't be a problem, but we would like to see them gone. We don't want to see them existing elsewhere. come on. Oh, oh. Oh, do you know why it's taking so long? I forgot to press spacebar. I forgot to press spacebar. How foolish. How foolish. The water was taking 10 hours, right? I mean, we won't cut that out of the video. We'll keep it in. It was quite interesting to see. Quite relaxing, really. Almost like a, well, you know, like a stress relief. And here we go. I thought this was going to happen. Oh, this is definitely going to happen. Unless some RNG miracle takes place. A rebellion in Bulgaria. And Igos Costa is finally to be married. Well, considering this is how you do it, you see. If Lorenko Portello was still alive, we'd be able to give him advice. Get married after you've captured what you were sent to capture, not before, because it's a distraction that ends up getting you killed. Okay, the Doge of Genoa is dead. And did this happen? Yes, it did. Foreign merchant strikes, but he's actually still standing. Oh my god! He didn't fall. RNG miracle, you say? Well, it's not far off it, but how long till he does eventually fall?
We don't normally trade with the
I mean,
enemy.
we can't buy him out. It's only like an 8% chance of this happening.
Give me a name. And
It's not worth the risk, so we'll just let him keep trying. Maybe one of these times he might end up snuffing it. He is 70 after all. So marriage celebrations for Costa, and we have diplomatic... Whoa, Denmark are excommunicated. That's rather interesting. I'll tell you why. Because I was looking at the faction rankings before the start of the session, and I noticed that Denmark were actually in the top 5 factions. They are 5th overall. They're pretty strong and getting stronger. Probably at the expense of fellow Catholic nations, which is why the Pope is probably not best impressed. But they obviously need to be curbed. They need to be slowed down. They need to be taught a lesson because they're getting a little bit too big for their boots. They're too far away from us to be worried about. But it's interesting to keep an eye on that situation and see how it develops. Okay, so some buildings have been constructed and it's still pretty much green across the board, which is nice to see. And we have a Moorish family member gathering near to our troops, which is rather unfortunate, but we'll take care of him in a brief moment.
Yes,
Right, I'm going to take our spy up here, and then we're going to sail the boats up here.
Yes, my lord.
Only 2 turns.
Dropping anchor until morning.
How swift those boats are. How very, very swift. And what else can we do? The Sicilians have gone. They've hightailed it away. Ah, assassin. All these years they were camped out here, were causing us a concern. All we had to do was send an assassin after them. And they'd run like cowardly dogs. How flipping hilarious. Right, okay, so...
Where to, sire?
He's going up there.
Investigate.
And he's going about there.
Without a trace.
In fact, come further down because... oh, and there's another land here. So there's 2 in kind of close order. They've got Al-Madia and Tunis. Not a lot of troops, though. Quite skeletal garrisons. If we were interested in taking them down, this would be a great place to start. We could probably take those in a couple of 2 or 3 turns in one swoop. But there's probably more hidden where we can't see them. Okay. Right. To the business at hand, then. And that business is, how do we take care of this situation?
Command me.
These 3 against him might be an issue. Might be an issue. So, I'm thinking, what do we do here? I'm thinking what we do is we, first of all,
Yes.
boats,
Yes, lord. Join in the... Who do I face?
boats.
Loading up the men.
Alright, what we got here? We got, okay, a few men, that's fine.
Yes, my
Come down.
plotting course of majesty.
Boats.
On to the ships. Command me.
Right, he's now in the way, you see. So we have a half stack there, followed by only 4 troops there. That's not quite a full army, is it? Ah,
Majesty.
I got ahead of myself, you see.
Yes.
Not ready yet. There's
Yes,
still
my
more men coming.
Command me.
Hidden away.
Yes.
Come in.
Orders.
Come in, my friends. Come in. Right, now we're ready to get ready. Now we're ready. Right, you come there.
Plotting course now.
So what we've got now? We've got one space for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more. There's
Yes.
4. 1 more from there. Pretty much good to go. Okay,
Yes, Lord.
so I think...
Orders.
Look at that. Green face with only 1 unit in there. These people have come round to our way of thinking. Christianity, 84% now. Yeah, let's just put him out of his misery. He's wandering around aimlessly. He's lost his family. He's lost his friends. He's probably, I don't know what he's trying to do. Maybe he's trying to wangle his way into Fez under a disguise, trying to live out the rest of his days. It's not going to happen.
Your orders, noble one. God will be with us, men.
Oh, damn it! Just
Blessed Lord, we
escaping.
thank you for
But
delivering
you won't
us.
escape for
We will
long.
engage them honorably, my lord.
We're going to be
With God's blessing and your...
Despite being an infidel, I respect you in battle.
Let's hope he doesn't. Well, he can't do anything anyway. He's going to die. It's just a matter of time. He's going to die.
Your Majesty.
Right, here we go.
Loading into the transport, Lord. Yes.
Okay, we're almost done. We're almost done. The excitement builds. The excitement builds. Look at Marrakesh. There's only 5 units in there. They're dead. They're effectively dead. Dead men walking. Tristão Durão. Come forth.
Yes, Lord.
Thank you.
God's servant.
You in there.
Traveling with God.
Very good. Travelling with God.
Continuing tomorrow, my lord.
I sincerely hope that if we do destroy the Moors, that these imams do not turn into heretics and they just simply vanish. It would be rather irksome if they were to turn into heretics, because that causes a hell of a problem. Right, we've got 6,800 to spend here, so we shall quickly focus on that. So we're going for farming, we're going for the infrastructure buildings at this moment in time. Even ahead of the churches and chapels, which is a surprise to some people close to the King's Court. But we're high enough with the Pope now. We've done our duty for Catholicism. A little bit of selfishness for a change. Let's focus on our infrastructure. Let's focus on our people. More growth and more people across the kingdom means more devoted followers of Catholicism in the long run. And more there. Or a market. And then we'll go for farming. We'll go for farming. Give these people food. Let them eat. Let them enjoy the fruits of our labours. And same there as well. Farming, farming, farming. One can never have too many farms. It's crops and all that kind of good stuff. It's good. We're gonna have bountiful harvest. We will be a people
My lord.
that others
Yes,
look
there's
up to.
money in this, my
Right.
lord.
Our other merchant was like
Yes,
9
my
or
lord.
8 finance, so we were generating close to 800 per turn, I think, if I remember rightly. But of course, you've got to let them learn their trade. As time passes on, they will increase in their knowledge of the ways of trade. You know, it'll work out. It'll work out well. Alright, so buildings done. Recruitment doesn't need to be done.
Someone to see.
Yes, just march north.
On
Just
my way.
pop up to France just to
Here
see
I
what's
shall
going down. And our spies ready in Badajoz just to get the eyeball in the central Iberian region.
Where to, sire? Without a trace.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. So maybe one more spy up round about there. That would give us pretty much almost full coverage. Mercia? Can't recruit a spy. Cordoba probably can. No, it can't. Oh, we're lacking the capabilities here. We're lacking the capabilities. Just make sure that we can make sure we're retraining all the troops that we possibly can do. Even though we aren't recruiting, at least get them retrained is something. But all right. So before we end the turn, then, just a very quick look at the situation with the various things. So we have, of course, Sicily, not excommunicated, but probably soon to be. We have Denmark excommunicated. Now we have France excommunicated. And let's just quickly see who Denmark are actually at war with. What's caused them to be excommunicated? The Holy Roman Empire. That might do it. That might do it. In terms of the College of Cardinals, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 representatives within the College of Cardinals. It's quite the showing. Can't quite send any crusades against France just yet. Be interesting when we can. And the faction ranking, what we're going to do is briefly just take a look at the neighbouring factions. Oops-a-daisy. Come on. We've got the neighbouring factions just to see how we fare with our neighbours. And we are obviously ahead of Aragon, of Leon, of the Mauls, naturally. The Sicilians are on the up. They are our next biggest threat, I feel. At some point, we're already at war with them. At some point, they're going to say, to hell with the Pope, and just turn on us. And that will be the next big fight. You can't have 2 powerful factions next door to each other and everything end up bright and rosy. There's going to be some comeback there. Yes, indeedy. And finally, the family tree. Look at this, marvellous. King Enrique's eldest son, still going strong, age 66. He's been a damn good servant to his people. And the king's youngest son, Felipe the Chivalrous, still governor of Fez. Yes. He was a noble, chivalrous, crusading conqueror, and then it just kind of fell apart when things went horribly wrong at the siege, at the assault of Fez, and he's been kind of left forgotten. The king never quite forgiving him openly, but at least kind of thinking, well, we lost some men and therefore upkeep was significantly reduced. So he kind of had a silver lining there. The king's proper son, Sancho de Portugal, is being sent down to conquer Marrakesh. If you want something doing, you might as well leave it to the true bloods. Because, yeah, those that weren't ended up coming a cropper. Lorenco, for instance. Anyway, he was adopted, of course, as was Prince Vito the Lazy, who is still sitting, chilling out in Lisbon. His true-born son, Egas Costa, we accept him, he's done a good job. Sancho is having a true-born son also, Baltazar de Portugal, age 1. Another true blood family member, soon to be born in a few years' time. And, of course, Velasco Angula married our Francisca, and they already have a son as well. So it's not a massively expansive family tree, but it's not bad and it's successful, which is the main thing. Now, if Prince Vito the Lazy was to happen to fall down some slippery steps, that would be most glorious, because it means that Sancho de Portugal would become the prince and would keep it within the bloodlines. Yes. That's unlikely to happen. But seeing as the current king is in good standing with the Pope, perhaps if we pray hard enough, you never know. Divine intervention and all that. The Moorish Caliph is dead. Not a surprise. The King of Sicily is dead. That's more surprising. And a European paper. Okay. Is this now the Caliph? No, this is the faction heir, which makes me wonder, is the Caliph over here now? Ah, he was probably in that army. That army seems to have vanished, which means he was probably in there. So where is the Caliph then? Is he perhaps in here? Maybe. Is there only 2 family members left? Possibly. An Aragonese cardinal dies, and where cardinals die, usually it's Portuguese ones that take their place.
Yes, Lord.
Oh my God!
Traveling with God.
There's an army there, marching towards Fez, which is not a good sign. It's left them exposed. Interesting. We've got to move quickly then. We've got to move very quickly. Ricardo de Portugal, who's he? Oh, Sancho's had another child. We've got a virile family member for a change. Keep pumping them out, son. Keep pumping them out. Perhaps it was a celebratory bit of nookie before sailing out to conquer Marrakesh, just in case he doesn't come back. To make sure we have something to remember him by. Okay, right. first things first.
Yes, Lord. With God's blessing and yours,
Die!
to battle. God has granted his faithful this victory. God will be with us, men. To battle.
He didn't die!
Most honorable victory, my noble
He
lord.
didn't
Of
die!
course, my lord.
Felipe the Chivalrous is severely wounded. What's happening here? Is this man utterly useless in the battlefield? Perhaps so. Yeah. The less said about it, the better, surely. Well, let's hope he can get back to Fez before the Moorish army. It was down here. But, they could get there in the next turn, and then we're outside. This is a little bit interesting. I wonder if we should actually plonk our army on the shore and intercept here, rather than sail round and go that way. I'm thinking that's probably the best thing to do. I don't want to risk having the sticky situation of having that army next turn besieged Fez.
An honor to
This
serve.
isn't the best army known to man. It would be fine behind walls, but an open battle on the field could end up being a sticky situation. So what I'm actually going to do here is
Yes. Your orders?
we're going to
Orders.
get the siege
As my lord wills.
ready.
We march to battle.
Going to get the siege ready and going. We're going to build the siege equipment. This, so that when the army does finally get down here, we can just literally go straight through the front gates, effectively. But yeah, I'm going to take this by land
Moving ashore, my lord. Name
because
thy enemy, lord. Yes. Men, we march.
it is too
Continuing tomorrow.
risky to allow. It's probably too far away, really, to strike, but we don't want to risk it. We don't want to risk it, so we'll intercept. We'll take him down en route, get ourselves warmed up, get our eye in before we take down Marrakesh for real.
Noble lord.
That seems like a good plan. Okay, so building work needs to be done here at Silvers, and we have done everything that we possibly can in terms of infrastructure, so we can either go for a bakehouse for extra growth, or we can go for a inn to recruit spies and assassins. Well, I think extra population growth is in line with our infrastructure theme, so we'll go for that. Fez, likewise, and that's, I think, that. I'm wondering, there's a lot of people walking down south. I'm wondering if there are any lands here.
Yes.
Let's have a gander.
Investigating.
Let's have a wee gandery.
As you
Oh, look at that. Is that Egypt?
I will hide.
Moors.
Morning.
Leave me be, infidel. Empty.
Ah, so we're getting close to Egyptian territory here. This is actually still Sicilian. This is Bakuba, which is still the same land owned by that settlement. But yeah, we've seen an Egyptian army there, so they're pretty close. Now, if you look at Egypt on the old ranking, I think it's going to be no surprise to you that they are the mightiest faction, the strongest faction, and one certainly doesn't want to get into open warfare with these guys prematurely, because they'd probably crush you rather swiftly. So I think if we were to take down the Sicilians, we'd be putting ourselves right on the doorstep of trouble. Rather funnily enough, but that's of course
Journey is over.
nothing to worry about right now.
Yes, my lord.
In your pop. Alright. 67. What's making me laugh is Demio Paver's still alive. He's out 86. 80 flipping 6.
Someone to see?
This man
Naturally, my lord.
is unbelievable.
You have a proposition for us?
I cannot quite accept.
If this was Demio Paver, they'd have come over to our side in a flash. Dear. We still have trade rights with them, actually. Okay.
Adieu, Seigneur.
Well, they still own that land, at least. Should we try it?
An honor.
I'm intrigued to see it. I really am intrigued. Let's see if Mr. Paver can show him how it's done.
Here, my lord.
Mr. Paver's going to show him how it's done. This is how you bribe a settlement, young child. Did they not teach you anything? Wherever it was that you were trained? Some backwater village, by the sounds of it. Come on. Come on, Afonso. Just probably two more years is all we're asking for. Are we being too greedy to ask you to survive for 2 more years? Don't go anywhere. Don't come into contact with sickly people. Have 5 medics around you at all times. Make sure that you stay alive. He's obviously too old to go hunting anymore, but if he was younger, we'd probably say, don't go hunting. Don't do anything to put you in harm's way. Just survive. That's all we ask. Just survive. We need you to see this. Even if you do die, we'll probably still kind of put you in. What's it called? You stuff animals. What's the profession called? Taxidermy. Yeah, we'll be like taxidermists. We'll stuff you and make it look like you're alive. We'll parade you around at the window of the castle. He's still alive. Don't worry. He's still here. Just for the history books, of course.
Yes.
Hey, where are you? Ooh. I'm sure this was English at the start of the game. Is this Khan? Yeah. Looks like France might have driven England out of the modern-day French mainland. Oh! What did I say? When a cardinal dies, it's usually a Portuguese one that takes their place. And in fitting with that theme, it's happened again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think it's almost guaranteed that the next pope is going to be Portuguese. Tristo Durão is probably just hoping and praying, although would he admit to it, that this current pope pops his clogs soon enough to get his chance to lead, to be the pope, to represent the country that has done so much for Catholicism.
No, my lord.
Oh yes, it's coming, it's happening. Ooh, family members galore, it's happening, it's all kicking off. It's the king again. This is all the king's intervention, you see. The king has it played to perfection. He's playing the religious game, he's playing the population game. Taxes come down, infrastructure goes up, a period of happiness spreads across the kingdom, and people start making babies. It's all part of the king's work, I'm telling you. It's all part of the king's work. Who's the new arrival? Lucia Costa, she's female, but you can't have it all. But then again, Salvador Resende is not. I think we've got twins here. I think we've got twins. No, I'm getting confused. This is a complete... twins. This is his grandchild. This is his child. He's 46 and he's now had a child. She's 50 and she's given birth. What witchcraft is this? He's had a son, Salvador Resende. Okay, I get that. Igor Costa has had a daughter. That's what's happened here. Family trees. Stop playing Crusader Kings 2 and your ability to read them goes out the window. Alright. Let's get this done. Let's have this happen. First of all, though,
My lord.
let's have this happen.
Yes, there is something you wish from France?
Step aside, Damian Paver saying to his young apprentice. You need to have the art when it comes to diplomacy.
I am afraid I must deny.
Obviously these people are deranged and deluded. Okay, he's 86, 87, he's probably gone a little bit senile, lost his touch. Oh well, he tried. His parting gift to us was a failure. Oh dear. We remember him for his successes. Okay? Moving swiftly on. Sancho de Portugal.
Yes.
Aha! Ooh!
Even if they do not deserve it.
Ooh!
The infidels
Well,
a
would
fair
you
fight.
credit this? This is not a bad army. Led by a competent commander. Can we go round?
Command me.
No, we can't. We're locked horns now.
Please strike, my lord.
Yeah. Yeah.
Orders.
Yeah.
Yes, Lord. Closing for battle.
Okay. Oh, I've kind of committed now, haven't I? I didn't mean to do that. I thought we could we can actually withdraw from the battle here. I was wanting to see what the likelihood was of us being able to actually just take the city now. Captain Hugo in his haste, ready to strike them down. And then the Moors would have been defeated and this would have turned into a rebel army and we could have just gone home. But no, we're going to have to withdraw from the battle. It's fine, which actually just basically means that we continue to siege the place. Nothing lost there. Just thought we'd have a quick eyeball on that. Right, so we've got no choice. We're going to have to fight this.
Despite being an infidel,
Why are we scared? We should not be scared, surely. We shouldn't be scared, but I'm kind of nervous after the defeat of Marrakesh that I'm kind of scared. I'm kind of worried. I'm worried for Sancho. Okay. I'm actually also worried about the fact that the bloody recording is going to crash. We're going to give it a try, though. If it does crash, I'm going to absolutely scream blue murder. Nothing else for us to do. This is literally the final piece of today's session, really. So we are going to save it, just in case we do get some kind of horrible bad fortune once again. But yeah, this has to happen.
Name thy enemy, Lord.
I mean, it's 2-to-1 strength ratio, so this should not be an issue. And ultimately, we don't have to come out of this smelling of roses. We don't have to come out of it with like 3/4 of our men left. We just have to come out of it victorious. We need to have some men left because we still do need to take Marrakesh. But yeah, let's do this.
They will regret not fleeing first. Kill them